All right. This is the Cut Checks podcast. And this is going to be the first episode of 2026. And I got a few guests lined up for this year. And I got a few uh, announcements. But more importantly, I want people to understand why I am doing this podcast. So, all of my life, everything I've done has been for the betterment of myself, my family, and the community in which I love. The creative community, the people of color that really want to do what they want to do in life, and in general. I just want people to understand that, I am trying to do my part. There's a lot of negative, unrealistic fluff about entrepreneurship, about, making money, and about just in general, it's the how sexy I guess this shit really is. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. The first time, the first time I became an entrepreneur was when I was in second grade, and I used to collect cans for with my grandparents, my great grandmothers, my grandma Versi and my grandma Medea and Mary. And I would collect cans, they would collect cans, and we would eventually combine our cans together and we would take them to the recycling shop and, cash in. Of course, they took most of the money, but $15, $20 for a second grader is a lot of money. So that's how I began my journey of collecting cans and just entrepreneurship in general. And if you really want to go further back to that, I always was asking my grandfather always taught me to never ask a man for money, but always ask for work. So I never asked my grandfather for money. I always asked him for work. So if I wanted to go to the skating rink, Skate America, I would ask Grandpa, hey, can I do some work for $20? If I wanted some shoes or some clothes, or anything that I wanted, man, every weekend, my weekends as a child was always dedicated to making some money. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And any of my family members can attest to this. This is the honest truth. I was just one of those kids that I hated being broke. I grew up very poor. I mean, the poor people, we were poor to the poor people in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, and I never wanted to want for shit, man. That stuck with me for most of my life. So I've always been a hustler, and I've always had some type of money in my pocket, and that stems from my grandma, my uncles, my mama. Everybody in my family was hustlers, and that's the honest truth. And so we really didn't wait for anything. Now that's not to say I ain't have broke moments. Of course I had broke moments, but I was always on a mission to get some money. And I'm not no saint. I've done some illegal stuff in the past, very long time ago as an adolescent that I thank God I never got caught for. But more importantly, it was always the legal way. It was always trying to be on a straight and narrow. I got a lot of families that come from that. I'm adjacent to it. I'm not a street dude. I am of the street essence. That's where I'm from. I'm from the hood, but at the end of the day, I never was trying to be that type of person. Like I said, I grew up very close to it though. So some of those things did rub off on me, and some of those things didn't. But the hustle has always been in me. So as we go on this, as you all go on this journey with me, I just want you to understand who I am and where I come from and why I do the things I do and why I say the things I say. Because I don't want anything that I say on this podcast to ever go out of context, to be put out of context. I want everyone to understand what, he said that because of this. So I'm very transparent. Everybody know that. My friends know that. I'm very straightforward. I don't really like the fluff. I don't really like I'm not passive. I'm not passive aggressive. I can be aggressive sometimes, but I am not a passive person. And I'm just a straight shooter, and I've always been that way. Well, not always been that way, but most of my adulthood, I've been that way. I had to learn how to be that way because where I'm from, if you don't speak your mind, you will get ran over. You will get taken advantage of, and I learned that the hard way very young. So I literally speak my mind, and I don't get taken advantage of. And I don't take advantage of people. I just keep it 100 with people. So this podcast is about business. This podcast is about creativity and trying to make sense and trying to optimize this short life we got on this earth. And so some of the shit I'm gonna talk about is it's about my life, my family, and how I navigate coming from the bottom and dealing with survivor's remorse, dealing with anxiousness, dealing with all of these things that I deal with on a day-to-day basis because entrepreneurship has side effects that people fail to acknowledge sometimes and fail to realize. It has mental side effects, it has physical side effects, it has financial side effects, obviously, positive and negative. Everything has pros and cons. And I want people to understand that. I want people to understand that when you make money, yeah, you can do some stuff that you can do more than you when you make money, you can do some things that you never probably could have done before, but also it comes with taxes. It also comes with people thinking you rich and that, the money you worked hard for is theirs. And so it comes with pros and cons, and I'll always be that voice. I will never just give you the good about it. I will never give you the good about it. And to be honest with you, it's that reminds me of a situation, not even a situation, the reality of entrepreneurship. I really want people to understand the reality of entrepreneurship. The reality of entrepreneurship is this. In 2025, I made over $300,000 from my businesses, multiple. As of right now, December 31st, on New Year's Eve, I have $0 in my checking account, my business checking account. That is entrepreneurship. And people might say, well, why don't you have any money? How can you have made $300,000 in your business and you don't have any money in your account? Well, for one, I got bills. That's one thing. And most entrepreneurs got bills. Two, that money is not all of my money. Half of that money went to vendors. Not matter of fact, most probably like 50, maybe 65% of that money went to other people that were helping me on projects. And so I always tell people, like, I have overhead. We're literally in a studio right now that I poured money into. Thousands and thousands of dollars to expand my empire, to expand the creativity, and to expand business. I invested a ton of money into this studio. So when people say so a lot of people say they got 6-figure businesses, and that's all fine and dandy. And at the end of the day, I don't really count pockets. At the end of the day, I don't really do that shit. Whatever you make is what you make. However you spend it is how you spend it. I truly believe I don't care as long as you're doing what you love to do for a living. I really don't care. But the glitz and glamour of this thing has to stop. There are benefits of it. It helps me. This business has helped me take care of my family. It has allowed me to travel places that I would have never been able to travel. It has allowed me to meet people I would have never been able to meet. So there are a lot of pros to having your own business and running a business. Make no mistake about it. The pros outweigh the cons. And that's what life is about. You're going to get hit with shit. You're going to get hit with shit 24/7. But the point is like, are you going to not do it just because you don't want the shit to get hit with shit? You know what I'm saying? Is that what's going to keep you from really doing what you love to do? And so that never kept me from that. I mean, to be honest, for me, it was always simple for this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was just simple. It was like, look, I come from nothing. I come from a place where you don't get to do what you want to do. You get to do you do what you have to do. I come from a lineage of men and women that had to do that. And so if that means me, you know, working, grinding it out, taking photos, taking video, designing some shit, like the things I do on a day-to-day basis, dealing with clients, running campaigns, marketing campaigns. If that means I get to do that, man, like I'll deal with it. Am I going to get rich off of this? I tell people all the time, you're not going to get rich off of service-based businesses really unless you scale it. And to be honest with you, in order to scale it, you got to have capital. And people don't like investing money into service-based businesses. That's just not how this shit goes unless you've already scaled it yourself. And so it's the chicken before the egg sometimes. So you do have to get the capital. Yes, I want the capital. I've got business loans, not a dent. Now, I think the most amount of money I've got from a business loan was probably like $30K. And I paid that shit back quick as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because when you pay that back monthly, it starts to eat in your overhead. It adds to your overhead, which I didn't like that. So, but it did what it's supposed to do. So I've gotten business loans before, not big business loans. I've got line of credits, not big line of credits. So in order to really scale a service-based business like mine, and I run a marketing agency, in order to do that, you have to have capital because it is very hard for agencies to scale unless you already have in capital, unless you already come with a big ass client like Nike that's going to give you $3.5 million a year to run micro campaigns. Like it's just how it goes. But at the end of the day, 2026 is going to be about growth. Like I said, this is going to be the first year where I'm not pouring directly into the build out of my studio. It's going to be the first year where I think my print company is going to, start doing well, and we're getting some new machines. It's going to be a lot of work, but a lot of foundation from the past 5-10 years of me running my agency and running these companies. The last years have been about foundation and expertise. And now I can honestly say I am ready to scale and ready to grow these businesses to the point where I can sell them. Because at the end of the day, I am going to sell my companies. I am going to sell all of them. And that's where I want to get to. So y'all are going to be with me on this journey. And I'm excited for it. I really am. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for people that really want to grow with me. So I started my agency in 2013, fresh out of college. And people say, why do you start an agency? Why don't you just start working? Well, I started my agency because no one would hire me. That's the reason why I started my agency. That's the biggest reason why I started my agency. No one would hire my ass. I had a bad portfolio. It was really bad. I mean, really bad because I wasn't classically trained as a designer. I was a marketing major going to design classes at other universities and other colleges trying to get my design skills up. So a lot of people did not hire me fresh out of college. But I told myself that would not hinder me from going to working in marketing and advertising. I wanted to work in marketing and advertising. I had found out about Steve Stout in translation, and I applied there, and they were the only people that interviewed me. Everybody else didn't even give me a shot, but they interviewed me, and they gave me some questions, and I didn't get the job there either. And honestly, I didn't really want it because it was in New York, and I just had my son, so I really wasn't trying to leave him either. But nevertheless, I started my own agency in 2013. This is before anybody that I knew of had an agency. I've never met no one that owned one. This is before I knew anything. I read so many books. So many books. One of the best books was The Agency by Rick Webb. I read so many books. I was on YouTube like fucking crazy. And that helped shape me. I tried to get some of my peers to join in. I sat them down at the library on the campus and said, hey, look, you want to do PR, you want to do marketing, you want to do writing. We all want to do this. Ain't none of us got job offers right now, I don't think. And we can start our own thing. I went to I had befriended a local man, a local entrepreneur who believed in me enough to let me get some office space in his building, and I started this agency called Greenberg. And my first clients was a car wash that Mr. Brown. Shout out to Mr. Brown. He allowed me. I think he knew the guy, or the car wash guy was renting out a space for Mr. Brown. I think that's how I got him. But nevertheless, we designed some business cards for him and a website, and that's what it was. I then got a job at the Small Business Development Center at my alma mater, Prairie View A&M University. I worked there for a year, and this was my first time getting on a plane to Denver, Colorado, because I had to do training out there. And what happened with that job was it was an eye opener, because I was working with small businesses every day. I was going to commissioner's court every week, finding out how politics and business works and how intertwined they are. I was learning so much from that job. And the lady, Miss Ross, and I'll always be indebted to her, she gave me the opportunity to do design work and video work and web development, all these things that I was very interested in and I was learning while I was in college. And she had let me do all of that. That position was not meant to do that. That position was just meant to help be an assistant to the Small Business Development Center. But she allowed me to do more. She allowed me to do all of my talents and help them. And to be honest with you, that center benefited from it, because we were the only center that was doing that, because they only had me. And so I was able to really make an impact with my creativity. And so I did that for a while, working with businesses. And then one business said, hey, I don't want to go through the city. I don't want to go through the SBDC no more. I would rather much just have you do the work for me. I don't like doing paperwork, because you got to fill out paperwork for those type of stuff. So she's like, I don't like doing all the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And so what I did was I said, okay, yeah, I got an agency, which, I got an agency, I got a business. And at the time we just had an EIN and then a DBA. And I was like, yeah, we'll do your work. It was a restaurant. And we did the menus, we did photos for them. We came up with a campaign to get the local community to, buy more or do more. And I think that campaign was about, we came up with a card that people do all the time now. It's like, if you buy 5 meals, you get the 6th one free. And I don't think they knew about it. And I was like, there are people doing this all day, every day. And it was a success, so much that they end up, getting another location at a town over. But I say that to say, this was 2013, 2014. This is how I started. I started this over 10 years ago. So it's 2026. That was 13 years ago. And so I've been in business for a while. And even before that, I was cutting hair in college. I was doing graphic designs for parties. I was shooting music videos for artists. I was doing all that kind of stuff while I was in college. And like I said, I've been a hustler all my life, and that didn't stop. So I literally have done a lot of stuff. And so that's how I started my agency, and we've been growing ever since. Every year we've grown. So I have compounded my growth. I have grown from just me and doing everything to I've had teams of 17 and 20 vendors and contractors working on contracts, and I've had part-time employees and I've had full-time employees. I've won awards, 30 of them, 30 plus of them. I've had large contracts with cities and nonprofits. I've worked with big brands. I've worked with small brands. I've done it pretty much all right now. And at this point, it's like there's nothing that I can't do, and there's nothing that I won't do. At the end of the day, I am at a place right now where I feel comfortable with shooting, filming, designing anything for anyone. And it took a while for me to get there, but I'm here. And I just want to help other people now get there. But also I want to help myself. And so my strategy is this. In order for me to scale my agency to where it is right now, there are two things that I have to do. And I got to figure it out. There's one thing. One, I have to get a major investment. Major investment. And the nickel and diamond that I've done the last 13 years is kind of like tiresome and it's old. And I want to break down to people why it's like this. So in order for me to scale, I either have to get a major investment or a major client that's going to give me a major investment. It all backs down to capital. And this is how this works. So when a person gets a project, when we get a project, usually it goes like this. Client reaches out to us via email, say, hey, Mike, we're looking to do this, we're looking to do that. What I do is I say, let's hop on a quick call just to get a gist of what they're trying to accomplish, see how what are some of their goals, and just see if we align as a company, as a company with them. And once that's done, then I send them a capability deck with options of routes that they can take. And this capability deck has a lot of information that is going to help them understand who we are, understand our process, understand the clients we've worked with, have some case studies in there that are similar to the things that they're trying to do, and it has a price range of what this might cost them, right? And they look at that and they decide if they want to go forward with it. And now, once they decide they want to go forward with us, we even distill this process down a little bit more into an official quote, probably, and in terms. And then we send them a scope of work contract, and they sign that scope of work contract, and they send us a deposit, right? Well, sometimes when we deal with a lot of universities and the nonprofits, we can send them a capability deck. They don't pay until we are done. And then guess what? They don't pay until 90 days, 60 days, 30 days after you're done. So what that does is that puts a strain on small agencies, because small agencies don't have an abundance of capital to wait 90 days, 30 days, 60 days. So what happens is that first project I get, that $50,000 project I get, I got to save that. I got to save that for the next project, because that next project, I might be waiting 60 days. So I have to pay people. I have to burn through that cash for that last project just to pay for this project. And the cycle continues. Whereas when you are an agency that's got acquired or got a significant investment from a holding company or from an investor, you have maybe, let's say they gave you $500,000 or $300,000 for 20% of stake in your agency. Well, what that does is that allows you to, that's that money that you're allowed to grow. Meaning, like, so now you could pay designers and photographers and videographers right then and there, right, when they do the project. And so you don't have to wait on another project. You got runway, that's what they call it. You have runway. I've never had runway in my agency. I've grown this agency, like I said, to where we average around $350 a year, right? And that's not a lot of money for an agency of my. That's not a lot of money, but it is what it is. It's a one-man band pretty much. And I'm trying to get this to multi-millions, at least $1 million. If I can average $1 million, then I can sell this thing for probably like 3.5 or 5 million, And that's all I need, so I can put it in the S&P and buy some real estate and stuff like that. But that's neither here or there. But like I said, in order for me to scale my agency, I either got to get a client that's willing to give me a multi-million dollar, uh, a multi year contract, right? Where they say they're gonna pay us, it's $350 a year, $450 a year, whatever it is. That's guaranteed money, and they're gonna give us a retainer and things like that. So there are ways to do it. I've had retainers, but I've never done long term retainers. I've always done like 3 months, 6 month retainers. So those retainers, leave, and those retainers are really not a lot. They're like maybe 3 or 4 grand a month retainer. So they're not a lot of money, but they do help with it. So I'm saying that to say, like, my goal is to like scale my agency and to grow it to the point where I can really sell it one day and, take that money and invest it in something more tangible. But it's a process. So my goal is to get a big client, multi-year, or get an investor to invest and let's grow this thing. But 2026, I don't really do resolutions. So I stopped doing those things probably like damn near 7 years ago because resolutions don't do anything for me. I've always just tried to maintain a certain level of cadence with my life, and I've always just tried to optimize my life, whether it be financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. I've always tried to do that. In 2015, I started my health journey, right? And I'm not the healthiest. I want to get better at it, but I was almost 300 pounds, and I'm 5'5", y'all. I'm a short ass dude, and that was bad. I lost a ton of weight, and I've kept it off since then, right? So ever since then, I've stated to myself, like, I just need to optimize everything about me, everything that I want to do, from my business to my health to my spiritual health to mental health, all these things. So this podcast, honestly, will be about some of those things as well. But I wanted to get into 2026 and some of the things that I think I'm going to do more of that I've been doing, and really what I think some other people should do and what has helped me. I'm always trying to help somebody. Like I said, I deal with survivor's remorse a lot. And I just hate people feeling the way I felt. So I'm always inserting myself in shit that I really don't need to be inserting myself in, and trying to help people and shit like that. And that's something that I have to deal with, and something I talk to my therapist a lot about, right? But in 2026, I want people to do increments, small increments, like little ones. And what I mean by that is like this. Excuse me. Water. Shit. My wife is calling me too. She texting me. She said she need to get gas. What? Put the heels on with them. Get gas then. Why are you telling me? Why are you telling me you got to get gas? Is it her thing of saying I need to get money? I don't know what she's talking about there. My wife. Anyway, like I said, small steps is what you should be doing in 2026. Small steps. I'm telling y'all, this shit really works. I've literally programmed myself. Excuse me. I've literally programmed myself to work on my business every day. And people say that's excessive. No, it's not. I'm telling y'all, this shit really works. I don't give myself a certain time, but I always say if I can't do anything fun, I can't do anything. If I work for also this, I have a 9 to 5. And so I spend hours working for them, right? So if I spend hours working for them, I at least got to give myself, my business, some hours, right? I think that's only right. And so if I give my family some hours, I got to give my business some hours. That's just this is how I do it. But look, this really works, y'all. Like, one thing I do is every day I do something towards my business. So I build websites and stuff like that. So, and I'm always optimizing my websites and stuff like that. So it might just be me. It might mean me building, adding something to my website or updating a website. It might be editing a video for myself. It might be shooting this content. That's another thing that I do. It might be researching some stuff. I got splash folders, what I call splash folders, where it's just like ideas and shit that I want to do and things that could really work. And now that Chat GPT has came into the play, man, I'm on that thing. Like, I got the paid version. I'm on that thing like all the time. So for me, it's like, if you do something for your business every day, you're gonna look up and you're gonna have accomplished a lot. I think people think doing something for your business every day, it looks like just grinding it out. No, you have 24 hours out the day. So like, man, dedicating 1 hour or 30 minutes to your business is going to grow it faster than you think. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people take weeks off. I know some people take weeks off their business when it's not a business. It's just a hobby at that point. And it's not even a hobby at that point. You know, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's something. It's just you wasting your time. And so I tell people all the time, give your business 30 to 1 minute. Just like give your, like people work out every day, right? Or work out or try to eat right. Like we just constantly trying to optimize our life. If you constantly trying to optimize your business, you will win. Like go like it could be get somebody to do a Google review on your business a day. That's what it could be. It could be it could be just do a design every day. I've done a lot of optimizing last year and the year before that. A lot of things I do don't necessarily cost me money. It just costs me time. And if you ain't got money, that's all you got is time, right? And so like a lot of time, I use my time. And like if you don't have no money, you really got time. And people like to waste their time. And time is way more precious than money, and we all know that. So like you get you get the bang for your buck when you take time for your business or take time for a goal that you want. If you want to start a business and stuff like that. But I really think people need to do the small steps every day. Dedicate 1 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes to 1 hour a day towards your business. It can be anything, I swear to you. It can be building something. It can be if you do that, you're going to look up and man, your business is going to grow. Your resources is going to grow. The people you know to get shit done is going to grow. All that shit going to grow, man. And that's going to happen. But another thing in 2026, I think people need to do is partner up. Now, this is something that a lot of people need to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of y'all don't have businesses because y'all too busy trying to do it all on your own, and that's just is what it is. And frankly, I don't want to do shit alone no more. Every business I got right now, outside of my agency, has a partner. I have a partner in it. This studio, I have partners. My print company, I have partners. Businesses like the other businesses that I can't say, that I have partners in most of my businesses. And that just is what it is. So I don't do shit alone no more. And some of these people are silent investors. Some of these people they putting sweat equity in like me. Either way, I don't do nothing alone. And I think y'all should stop trying to do shit alone. And I get on Threads, I get on Facebook and Instagram, and I see so many people doing stuff alone. And a lot of times sometimes people don't want to do it alone. And but they don't want to relinquish power either. For me, I always tell people to work with me, bro, this is your shit. do what you have to do. Take initiative on your shit, bro. Like if we come together on something, you got to put that grind in just as much as I got to put that grind in. You got to put that work in just as much. It's as much as your shit is mine. Even if it is my idea, you gotta. That's just how this. That's how it works. I'm telling you. But you can't do nothing alone. And I think a lot of people are really doing a lot of shit alone, and you just run yourself through the mud. It's not sustainable too. That's another thing. This shit is not sustainable, and you lower your impact. So y'all just need to stop doing shit alone, man. And that's the reason why I always tell people I carpool my dreams. In my last book I wrote, Creative Against All Odds, I have a chapter in there called Carpool Your Dreams. And that's exactly what it means. It means getting together with people, like-minded individuals, and going after what you want. And that's what I've always tried to do. I told y'all in the beginning of this, is like, you know, when I started my agency, I tried to do it with 6 other people. Like I tried to do this shit with 6 other people. And they just didn't stick around because I don't know why, but they didn't. And some of them still my friends. All of them are still my friends, but it is what it is. It's like, so, but you can't do none of this shit alone. Everybody wants to do it alone. And some of it is ego. A lot of it's ego. You're in your own fucking way. And, you know, you won't grow like that. You really won't. Honestly, your business won't even grow like that. A lot of people do it alone, but you can't, man. I'm sorry. You got to partner with people. And then why not do it from the jump? Why not put your money in together, you know, to get more? If you about to start a business, you have $5,000, get somebody else to start a business that got $5,000. And you know how far you can do? You know how much you can accomplish with 10 grand to start a business? Do you know how much you can do? I'm telling you, y'all got to partner with people. And if y'all don't want to partner with nobody that you trust, you know, partner, like, go on Threads and Instagram. I mean, nobody that you trust, nobody that you know. Well, go on Threads and Instagram and partner with somebody. Build a relationship with them and see how they are and see where you can go. But you got to partner from 2026. That's the only way. Group economics is really one of the best ways to kind of like do what you want to do. I'm telling you, this studio just would not exist had I not had partners. I was willing to do it by myself. Don't get me wrong. I really was. And I had the money to. But, you know, the mistakes I would have made by myself, if I ain't have Joseph, me and him was in here building this motherfucker out. Bro, we made some mistakes in here. But we did it together. We made mistakes together. And those mistakes lessened the blow. So I would tell people, like, really, y'all got to kind of like just make sure you partner in 2026. I'm telling you, you have to make sure you partner in 2026. Another thing I think businesses and small businesses should really do, and just in general, to be honest with y'all, man, is we got to spend money better. Like, honestly, spend money better. Like, one of the things I'm focused on that I focused on last year a little bit more, but now it's going to be even more, is how much does it cost to obtain a customer? And that's at every business that I have. Like, I'm diving into every business that I have and seeing how much it costs for my customer to me, for how much is my customer acquisition cost, right? And that's pretty much just like, how much does it cost to get a customer in your door or to buy your service? And we got to spend money to make money, but we can't spend money to make money frivolously. We got to do it the right way. And so, you know, finding out where your customer is at and finding out how much it costs to get them to use your service, like understanding how much that journey costs and things like that for you to build trust with a customer. I think that's what we got to do more of, because we spend a lot of money, and I'm a victim of this shit too, dog. It's like we spend so much money just trying to figure out, build brand awareness. We trying to figure out where these customers are at, where they're going, and things like that. And like, man, I'm telling you, we gotta continue to optimize and continue to continue to try to test and test out where these people are at and how much it costs to get them there. Also, we can't just spend money just to look good, you know. We can't spend money to just for the face value of it. Like we really gotta spend money in the right places. And I don't know what that looks like for everybody. I know what it looks like for me, but I don't know what that looks like for everybody else. I just think if we come in to 2026 with that mindset, we'll be better off knowing that, like, it doesn't mean be cheap. It just means like, where are we, like, is our customer there? And how much is it going to take? If it takes me $10 on Amazon or Google Ads to get $100 out of a customer, then that's fine, right? But we got to optimize that. And then, like I said, that's something that I'm going to do on this channel, and that's something that y'all are going to witness me do, because I need to figure this shit out too. I need to figure it out too. So that's that. But all in all, man, I'm excited for 2026 because it's just another year I'm on this earth. It's another day I get to live out my dreams. It's another day that God has blessed me with, and I don't take that for granted. I don't take it for granted, bro. I don't take none of this stuff for granted, man. Like, I really, really enjoy what I do, and I really am blessed to do what I do. But I don't take it for granted. So 2026 is gonna be a fire year for businesses and people just trying to live out their dreams. And I'll say this in closing: when you are dedicated to something, and you can't stop thinking about it, and you can't stop dreaming about it, and everything you talk about with people leads back to that one thing that you want, it's meant for you. It doesn't matter how many gatekeepers are trying to keep you from it. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down to go get it. It doesn't matter how many people say you can't get it. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter how much money you got or don't got. It is yours. You just have to keep chipping away. And that's what I mean about small steps. Just take small steps every day. So in 2026, you have 365 days. That's 365 steps, if you want to call it that, right? Every day, move the needle toward your goal. Make a goal bigger than yourself that requires other people to help you obtain that goal. Find those people. Fellowship with those people. Collaborate with those people. Break bread with those people. Build teams with those people. Build foundation with those people. And when you and those people get close, because if 10 people are moving the needle forward every day, by the end of 2026, you will see something that you've never thought you could have accomplished. And so in 2026, I'm looking for people that want to move the needle forward every day. I don't want nobody that want to do it every other day. I don't want nobody that want to do it every other month or every other week. I want to be around people that want to move the needle forward every day. That want to take 30 minutes out that day to say, hey, go write a Google ad go write a Google review for me. Or, hey, have you heard about this business that I got? We can do this for you. Hey, let's go set up a booth somewhere and show people what we can showcase or what we can do for them. It can be as simple as texting, emailing somebody once a day. It can be simple as posting, creating content once a day. It could be all of those things. It could be watching a documentary or a video for the type of business that you want. Reading a book for your business once a day. I am telling y'all, once a day. It's like taking vitamins. This shit is like taking vitamins, dog. take your vitamins every day. You take your medicine every day. Hey, do something for your business every day. Do something for your goal every day. And it's not just about business. It's about your career. It's about anything that you want to do out of life that can impact you. This is you got to make those deposits. If you don't make these deposits, then you are going to look up 50, 20, 15, 5 years from now, you're like, damn, I ain't got nothing to show for these years I've been on this earth outside of just living. And honestly, like, that might just be enough for you. I'm not talking to you if that's enough for you. I'm talking for the people that want a little bit more, right? Maslow's hierarchy. You know, after we got past the survival, we, breathing, food and shit like that, we start to want a little bit more mental stuff, right? I'm not talking about people that just, whatever it is that you want out of life, you can get it. That's all I'm saying. But I'm talking for the people that are entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs, designers, photographers, filmmakers, writers, marketers, advertisers, promotion, people that do events, stuff like that. Like, all of this pertains to you. Make the little steps every day. I promise you, shit is going to change. Man, I'm telling y'all, I come from shit. I graduated college in 2013. I left my home in 2008. So 16 years ago, I was on Section 8 getting food stamps. My mother was jobless. I was bad. This was me as an 18, 19-year-old guy, right? I'm 35 now. Shit changes. I now make a decent amount of money and I'm doing well for myself. I want to do better, but I want to help other people get there. At the end of the day, the small steps, man. You can't do this shit overnight, dog. But if 10 people are making small steps in 1 year, this shit gonna be crazy. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, man. And I hope y'all ready for it. I hope y'all ready for 2026, dog. Because I'm excited. I'm excited for this shit. I'm hungry for it. I'm just ready to go. And that's that, man. Let's cut checks.
My business making M's. Cutting checks is on the table. Investing in yourself is nothing greater. Now my business making M's. Peep the rising of the stock, flipping digits.